Super Rugby Power Rankings for round number 6, folks. I think the results at the weekend were largely pretty predictable. The Reds getting a win over in Fiji was maybe your closest kind of flip of a coin game. Obviously, the Chiefs and Brumbies played out a bit of a banger over in Canberra, but we'll go through the power rankings from bottom to top. Just quietly, I feel like the power rankings have got them more or less, at least the teams, maybe not the order, who will make the playoffs. We'll start at the bottom. It's Moana Pacifica. They are bottom of the table. They are bottom of the power rankings. They haven't won since round number 1 when they were over in Fiji. They lost at home. They were finally back over on the North Shore. Put in a good first half effort against the Crusaders, but the Crusaders ran away with that one in the second half. So same for Moana, with no Adi, no Tom Folau and whatnot. It's looking like a tough one throughout the course of the season. But we'll see what Tana can do with the boys. Next, the Highlanders. They are down on the power rankings a spot with that big home loss to the Hurricanes. They got absolutely put to the sword. There seemed to be a pretty good crowd there. But geez, they've got 2 wins. They won the opener and they beat the Force at home. So 4 losses, 2 wins. It's not looking like the happiest camp down there in Dunedin, but yeah, we'll see how they respond to that loss. And then the Force are up a spot, I think largely because they were on the bye. The 2 teams below them on the power rankings had losses. A bye is not as bad as a loss. The Highlanders will have a bye coming up at some point. It may be a chance to retake them. We will see. Next, the Tars. They are same as last week. 8th spot for them. Again, early start to the season. Showed some promise. Just lost to the Blues. It was a disappointing one if you're a Tars fan. I mentioned it in the match review, or at least the wrap-up during the live stream that we did for this game. The Tars were probably better value than that result on paper because they had the Blues on the back foot for ages. Missed a lot of chances, and ultimately it's a pretty disappointing one for them. So same. And then the Drua have not moved either from their spot with their home loss to the Reds. They were maybe the biggest disappointment of the week in that you're at Lautoka, the Reds have rested some players. It's a chance. Fortress Fiji needs to be a thing, and it's too often this season that we've seen them lose games at home. Like come the end of the season, the home loss to Moana, the home loss to the Reds. These are results that might be the difference between pushing for the playoffs and, being some distance from it. So they are the same on the power rankings. These guys, though, are down. The Chiefs into 6th on the power rankings. They are also 6th on the table. Largely predicted to be, if not a favorite, the favorite of the season. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. They lost after being pretty comfortably up against the Brumbies, so they will not be happy with that. But the Brumbies are a good team. So sometimes that's what happens when good teams play each other, but I still feel like if you're in a winning position, championship teams will find a way to get that done, especially with the stock that the Chiefs have got, man. They got one of the deepest squads. I thought their bench would be the difference in terms of maybe winning it, but it didn't prove to be the case. And then the team that beat them, the Brumbies, are up a spot with their win over the Chiefs. I mean, they had a 2-match losing run going into that game, and it would potentially be 3 if they'd lost that one to the Chiefs. They were down, but found a way to come back and win it. They've got some, they've got some talent coming through the Brumbies. I'm optimistic with how they're going to go. I've mentioned it before, but the Brumbies and I think the Crusaders are not teams to generally go on a big recruiting spree and get in a bunch of veterans. They like bringing guys through the ranks, which I feel like longer term seems to work out well. You don't have to teach them your way of playing. You don't have to get them to unlearn stuff and then learn the new way to play. The guys who have been coming through the ranks should know the systems pretty well. Top row, we've got the Crusaders into 4th. They are up 1 spot on the power rankings with the big away win over Moana Pacifica. They were given a game in the first half, but it's a game they were largely predicted to win. What's impressive for them is they did it with the injuries they've got. Like their 4th choice 10 had to play this game, but they got the bye next and a number of players to come back from injury. So I feel like they'll be in the playoff mix come the end of the season. Blues are in third on the power rankings, so that is also up one spot with their away win over the Tars. The Crusaders and Blues are largely benefiting from the drop of the Chiefs, I think. So, yeah, I don't know if the Blues raised a heck of a lot of eyebrows. They were certainly put under a lot of pressure. But maybe that's a good one for the old mental fortitude to be able to be under pressure, hold defensively, and then put some points on when you get your chance, because they had fewer, like 22 entries than the Waratahs had. Second spot still goes to the Reds, who are fourth on the table. The Reds are what, like 4 wins and a loss? That's a pretty good record after that bye and loss to start the season. Les Kiss seems to have his ducks in a row, managed to rotate the squad over in Fiji and still get a result. Maybe reason to be optimistic for Queensland rugby fans, but I still think the star of the show at the moment has to be the Hurricanes. They are playing some sexy, sexy attacking rugby. They are going to be very hard for anyone to live with at the moment. Still number one on the power rankings. They are number one on the actual table. Put a lot of points on the Highlanders and are going to be a force. I still think teams like the Hurricanes and the Blues, they've still got some big games ahead which will test their credentials. Sometimes it's easy to rack up some points against teams which you're supposed to beat. But yeah, I do feel like your top 6, in all likelihood, will be the 6 teams I've got on the power rankings in the top 6 at the minute. I don't know that I see the Drua, the Tars, the Force, Highlanders, or Moana sneaking in at the moment. It's maybe too early days to be saying that. That's what it feels like. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts. How would you be ranking the teams if you were ranking them from bottom to top? And yeah, we look forward to round number 7. You guys take care. Talk to you guys again soon. See you later.